Welcome to Future of Search. In this episode, I'm joined by Metehan. Metehan has made some of the most interesting discoveries on how to rank on ChatGPT and Perplexity by analyzing the code of these different LLMs. In this episode, we will cover how ChatGPT picks its sources and why the Reciprocal Rank Fusion algorithm is important and changing the game for brands. If you don't know what is Reciprocal Rank Fusion, you will learn it in the podcast, and this is a reason why you should listen to the podcast. Second thing, we will learn what 1,827 real ChatGPT prompts reveal about how people use ChatGPT. There was a leak of some prompts that Metehan was able to get, so we will talk a lot about this. Last thing, we will talk about the hidden layers of Perplexity, how Perplexity ranks a brand or another, how Perplexity chooses a website, and you will learn how to rank better on Perplexity. And finally, we will deliver the 2025 Geo Playbook. Don't forget to subscribe, comment the video, and let's start the podcast with Metehan. Hello everyone, welcome to Future of Search, the podcast where we explore the new strategy to be positioned on LLM, ChatGPT, Perplexity, AI overview. Today I'm very happy because I am with Metehan. Probably you have seen him on LinkedIn because he made recently some great discoveries about how to rank on ChatGPT, how to rank on Perplexity. We have so much stuff to say. We discussed together just before the podcast for 30 minutes. I think we could have gone for hours, and we will share everything with you today. Metehan, welcome to Future of Search.
Yes, thanks for having me today.
Thank you. So Metehan, let's start. First part will be meet the guest. I'll ask you a couple questions so that people get to know you a little more. Then second part of the podcast, we will really deep dive into ChatGPT ranking factor. You did some more discovery in ChatGPT code that you sent this morning with the newsletter. I had to reorganize all the podcasts, but that's great news. Then third part will be Perplexity because you discovered a lot of things in there. And then at the end, some quick question, lightning moment, like some 30-second question. Plenty of stuff to say, but let's start with the first part, meet the guest. Metehan, quick intro. Tell us a little bit who you are, what you do on a day-by-day basis.
Yes, I'm Metehan Yesilyurt from Turkey at the moment, from Ankara, the capital of Turkey. Many of you visit Turkey in the past or this year. I'm working as a growth marketing manager at AppSamurai at the moment, and AppSamurai is a one-stop shop mobile user acquisition platform, and we are of course using some AI solutions at the moment, just like everyone else. And I started as an SEO in my career around 13 years ago, I guess. And of course, I was playing with websites, creating many free forums blogs 15 years ago. And now I work at agency in a major news platform in Turkey. And right now my focus is mostly on mobile marketing, and my mission is bringing more app companies, mobile gaming companies to AppSamurai end of each month. And right now, my main focus on my day-to-day tasks, stuffs, is bringing more traffic from AI search engines. And I'm conducting some research, trying to learn more from the community. And now we are here. I still believe in SEO, by the way. I like saying GEO, AEO, LM, whatever you call, but I still believe in SEO at the moment.
I agree 100% because SEO still exists. In France we use a lot the word SEO, but actually when I was working in the UK at Skyscanner, we used the word search. Like we worked in search, not in search engine optimization, in search, and search is way more global than just SEO and just Google.
Yes. And currently there are many hundreds of channels, so search is becoming essential.
Oh yeah, totally. Tell me a little bit, I'm curious about this, and maybe for the audience, because the audience, it's English-speaking people, so it's all over the world. How is the market in general, the search market in Turkey? Tell us a little bit about this. It's a good occasion to talk about this.
Yes, I'm not criticizing it, but Europe is currently, I'm not saying it's staying in behind, because especially in France, and we discussed this just before recording this video, Mistral AI company is in the France, and they are doing amazing job. Currently, AI mode, AI overviews, the Google's newest features isn't rolled out in a full mode in all around the Europe and especially in Turkey, of course. So in Turkey, most of SEOs are in a secure position right now. Of course, LLMs affected the traffic, but we still trying to click 10 blue links always. So it's easier to manage right now. But in my friends from US, UK, from India, from Asia, they are struggling a lot. Their traffic all declining.
We have a bit of a moat, so to say, in France and Turkey, because at the moment we don't have AI overview both. So companies are still protected in terms of traffic, but at the same time, the challenge is that some other countries are getting ahead, like they are already forming themselves to AI overview, to rank better or whatever, and we are late to the party in a sense. It's a bit challenging, So obviously today we will not talk a lot about AI overview, but more about ChatGPT and Perplexity ranking factor. So I propose that we move to the second part of the video, which is really ChatGPT ranking factors. You did a lot of discovery. Maybe just a word for this, because a lot of discovery that you did is by looking at the code that were the code of ChatGPT in this case and the code of Perplexity. But this is the third part of the video. We have a lot to say about this. Can you tell us a little bit the process, how you ended up doing this, and I think it's going to be interesting for a lot of SEOs in there.
Yes, I was boring actually around 3 years ago, I guess, because basically everyone was saying like you need to optimize your website speed, you need to create the high engaging content, but I consistently asking to myself how okay my website is very fast, but then another core update, Google update, and my traffic just declining again. So basically the narrative was always the same. So I'm not telling everyone was saying, but most of them. So I was with the AI when I met with AI just before ChatGPT released the OpenAI Playground. Then I realized the model was very primitive, but it was very exciting, because there is a saying in the SEO industry, I believe many SEOs, if I knew how to code, I can build my own entrepreneurship story, and I can drive millions of traffic and I can earn more money. So I'm still believing. And I started to build my mini tools, develop ideas with using AI, and then realized if I can find some patterns, feature flags in the source code, and then I realized there are some, even with some system prompts, then all journey began. And in April, I attended Brighton SEO, and everyone just chasing for AI traffic, because the United States origin websites affected more, because many experience, search generative experience, etc., AI overviews, and people realized that yes, we need to get more traffic from LLMs, from newest Google features. But I'm also still struggling with it, but it's still so exciting at the moment.
Yeah. And it's also something we said before. I think the answer in terms of traffic shouldn't come only from search, because obviously the traffic from an AI, from an LLM, most of the time the LLM is already giving the answer. If you ask ChatGPT, give me a recipe for my banana bread, it gives you the recipe. You have no reason to go to another website to see another banana bread recipe, So obviously traffic is low, but still your brand needs to be mentioned. If someone asks what's the best drill, for example, I'm doing some work at my home, so it's a bit my topic at the moment. Your brand has to be there, and that's, I think, one of the shifts maybe that comes today. It's not only traffic, but it's also being present, as a brand, being the answer as a brand. Anyway, let's talk about ranking factor, ChatGPT ranking factor. I will jump a little bit in the past, because this is how I discovered you with your first article that was about Reciprocal Rank Fusion. It was very interesting. We will put the link in the comments, and people go read all the blog of Metehan. It's a really good blog. Can you explain what is RRF, Reciprocal Rank Fusion, and how potentially a marketer can use it, to improve his ranking or his position in LLMs?
Yes, let's say it. Rank Fusion. It's shorter and easy to even say for me. The Rank Fusion is we already knew Google is rewriting our query in the backend side. So, and of course, with the AI mode, Google uses the query fan out. So we can say it's like similar process at the beginning. So basically, if ChatGPT needs to get results from the web, it produces maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 multiple queries, then fetch the results for each query, and it becomes a pool. Let's say 6 multiple queries in the backend side. Now we have 60 results, but we can't show as a ChatGPT model every citation to users. So we need to reduce the pool size and show 10, maybe 14, 15 citations. So it works basically like this. And for each independent query in the same pool, if you are more visible in multiple each query, then you will get more citations basically. So the rank fusion is working like this, and it shows a clear sign we need to be more visible in relevant queries. Think like just query fan out or some other, also Perplexity showing some follow-up questions. So it's becoming more important. That was the finding.
It's really interesting. I'll just maybe say a word about query fan outs to make sure everyone understands, if someone hasn't read or listened to us both on YouTube or whatever. So it basically principle, like Metehan said, is that when someone is typing something, asking something to ChatGPT, is not making only one search. It will make 6 searches around the topic. 6, I'm saying 6, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 10. I think it depends on every topic. We don't have information about this. And that's, the topic cluster strategy, or call it however you want to call it. That's a strategy that works, or looks like it's even more important today, because it's not only for Google, but also for ChatGPT or else.
Yeah. I mean, the query fan out isn't same as rank fusion, but a similar process. What I'm trying to do it on my side is developing my skills, learning curve, the mindset. Because when you start working on these techniques like cousin similarity, embedding matching, rank fusion, fine-tuning, etc., you will see there aren't thousands of calculation methods. So you will find yourself as, okay, this can be the Google's approach. This can be the OpenAI's approach. So when you just check the source code or just listen your browser events, you can see the similar patterns between Google, OpenAI, Perplexity, and Gemini, all others. So yeah, it's useful, and we need to be more visible on every query. I guess it depends, and it's very dynamic, and it's still complex for me as well.
And it's still a black box that we are trying to lighten,
Yeah.
And if you were, let's say we have a content team or a marketing team in front of us like now, what would be your advice to create the right content? You talked about relevance. What would be your advice to find the right content to create, to rank on LLMs?
Creating topic clusters and grouping them and interlinking each other works well at the moment. And right now I'm not using heavily as before the traditional keyword search. I just type SEO keyword on Ahrefs, look for the monthly volumes. Right now I'm currently focusing more on people also ask data right now, because they're in question formats. Google also is producing synthesized people also ask data based on Mark Williams Cook's and also ask study. So what I believe, if I can get more question formats from the data source, I can drive more traffic. I can be more visible in all search engines, AIs and LLMs. This can be my first advice for content teams.
It's interesting because this is something that people didn't talk until now in the podcast. But SEOs, we need to reinvent ourselves like we did for years, but maybe now it's a bigger reinvention. And keyword research needs to be reinvented too. The way we did in the past, like looking at the keyword, choosing the one with the most search volume and the less difficulty and just created content on that. Now it's different because people search more long tail. We will talk about this because I have a question for you after that. But where in Google we were lazy with 4 words or not so much long tail. Well, now you see that people type prompt with 26 words, and it's okay. So evolving keyword research. I also, to a lot of clients, what I say is listening more to their clients, like what are they asking? And sometimes you look online, you see that there is no search volume for this, but that doesn't mean it's not interesting because first, the tools can never give us the exact search volume or whatever. And second, I think if it's very relevant for your brand, you should create that content, even though it doesn't look like there's a lot of search volume, but it can be interesting for your brand.
Yes, at the moment, Google Trends will release its own official API soon. They're giving access to alpha users. I'm on the wait list too, but it's very exciting. Right now, in every SEO tool, even for AI search tools like Profound, Peak or others, you see mostly the most generic prompts, evergreen content, ideas, etc. You can't see the real-time data. I work in a major news platform in Turkey, and my first pain point was getting real-time results before the topic is going to explode. So for the LLMs and optimization, content optimization part, I found people also ask data very valuable because in just 24 hours, you can see the trends and intents are changing even in PAA data. That's why I wanted to mention, and your points are very right on this topic.
Yeah. And you said perplexity questions, also perplexity related question are also very interesting for that, I think.
Yes. It just fetches all cited domains, and then create a general summary and put questions. It influences you. It's different from ChatGPT at the moment.
Yeah, totally. And do you see any, because this morning you deep dived again and you sent a newsletter that was really interesting. This was Reciprocal Rank Fusion in terms of ranking factor. It's not exactly a ranking factor, but I think it's something people need to understand today. Do you have some other discoveries about ChatGPT ranking factors? Tell us a little bit.
Yes. Yes, I published a new post today, and I tried to decode ChatGPT 5, the newest model. I believe also in Perplexity findings, I can easily say they are looking for freshness factor. The rank fusion and their re-ranking models are not direct ranking algorithm factor, but it's obvious they are using a different layer for the ranking. And the most I won't say surprising, but the most important finding for me is the freshness factor. Especially today I shared it, and they are trying to find the most relevant content and the whole context, especially in the last hour, last 6 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, then trying to widen their time range up to 6 months, I believe. So if you have contents from the past, like 22, 23, I can say you need to update those contents with a less modified, less updated, and just put these on your title, just like every major news platform, and show your freshness. Google also love this, and in the May 24 leak, we know Google has a factor that query deserves freshness. So it's becoming like this, I believe, and these are my fine freshness. Update your contents with FAQs.
Exactly. I think if there is something that maybe you can do today and can have the most impact, it looks really like it's going for freshness changing dates, and not only changing date and leaving the same content, changing date and updating the content. Not only, I would even say, not only in terms of the content that is in there, but also in the way that you present the content. You know, we talked about Reciprocal Rank Fusion before, but for clients, I check a lot the content that is used as a source by LLM, and a lot of time it's content that is easy to read. There is a TLDR at the beginning, there's H3 and a little bit of text, another H3 and a little bit of text. Very easy to digest, you know, because like you said, ChatGPT has 10 to 15 seconds to give an answer. So if your content is a big block of text, is not loading, it's complicated to rank with that. Yeah.
Yes. And it's also about the LLM's context window, because they can process hundreds of pages, PDFs, let's say blog posts. They just guess it after their context window is about to end. So using TLDR, K takes away at the beginning, and if you use it a very high embedding similarity match, which John Mueller said it can be a spam action if you only use embeddings. But for the LLMs part, if you show your summary at the beginning in an efficient way, let's say highly aligning with the user's prompt query with the main body content in embedding vector space, so it works. I can see it. And right now I believe maybe you needed to get 1 million impressions 5 years ago, and right now you need to get tens of millions to get the same level of traffic. And for the rank fusion, Charles on X sharing many insightful postings, I believe you need to own your own media channels. If you want to get cited more in ChatGPT or other LLMs, just publish your post or topics in a synchronized way in Reddit, Medium, X, YouTube, and all other platforms. So just cover all multiple queries at the same time with using your own other media channels, then you will get cited.
And it's interesting because it's not only about your media channel in the sense of your blog. No, it's Medium, Reddit, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever possible, you know?
Yes, engagement is crucial. And we know that Google is getting this engagement from Chrome browser data, which leaked also last year. And we know ChatGPT chats are indexed by Google because of Chrome visits, I believe. So yes, engagement is crucial, and just distribute your content all across your platforms and see the effect.
Totally. It's interesting that you talked about ChatGPT search that are indexed, because we have a couple questions on this, particularly because you did an experiment recently.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I got those queries from Google Search and using Web Archive, and just gather them all up together and put an AI analysis, which I realize it's a tiny data set, by the way, because we know right now maybe more than 1 billion searches or prompts are requesting in ChatGPT and all others. It's a tiny data set, but I tried to find some patterns. So I realized that people trying to use in an agentic way still, and I believe agentic era will be the new hype. It's obvious, because many tasks can be completed at the same time, and you don't even need to search anything. Just LLMs will handle the rest. So these real prompts, more than 1,800, I realized that people are assigning some personas to LLMs, and they are mostly trying to use in a task completion based. And I realized that my website isn't ready for that. Even it's a tiny data set. So the overall picture looks like this.
Yeah, I think it's interesting what you say, that people use it as for doing tasks, you know?
Yes, you are my lawyer, you are my developer,
Exactly.
you are my content writer. this prompt starts.
Yeah. You're a
like
nutritionist, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I did the test, recently. I was looking for recipe, and I did a couple of prompts. One prompt was, you are a great chef, 3 Michelin stars or something like that. Another prompt was, you are a cook you are a chef for student, this kind of thing. And the recipe didn't look alike at all, it was really interesting. Yeah. And you said, you said that you realized that your website was not optimized for tasks. How can we optimize website today, for like doing tasks or getting more feature? Do you see a way? Or?
I don't know. It depends. I'm still working on this, but I believe, I'm not saying schema will work, but structured data can work in if you are using WordPress. Let's say WordPress is using WP-JSON endpoints and put those JSON links in header codes, and I realized that in WordPress server logs that OpenAI is visiting those links. So it creates a structured way to present your web page. I believe for the task completion and agentic parts, you need to create your own website data flow like APIs. Let's say, or leaving some directions on your page or on your rendering page only for LLMs. So maybe you can get ready. And I'm still obsessed with people also ask data, getting real results from people at the same time. I'm still working on this, but task completion, I'm also as a user working like that. I'm assigning a persona, and then you are the best SEO in the world, just like Luca Fancello, and you need to act like creating most engaging content, etc. So this is how we use. I'm still working on that.
Yeah, I think it was how it was taught at first to use it. So today we are all using it like that because at first they said, you need to add the persona and whatever.
Yeah.
And I think on looking at those prompts, you also discovered that the length was very different to classical request, right?
Yes, I wanted to publish all queries, but it contains very sensitive data. So I just delete them all. But the average medium prompt like 42 keywords.
Okay.
It changes from 11 to 42, but it's more than 30 words at that moment.
Interesting. Yeah. And there's also, I think, something key to understand is really this idea of long tail, like long tail before was 4 words, long tail today becomes 20 words, It's
Yes.
Great, thank you, Metehan, for all this. So this is really the ChatGPT part, and now we're getting into the biggest, because I think there was even more discovery for that. It's Perplexity, because for Perplexity you discovered 59 ranking patterns and the secret architecture of Perplexity. Let's start with global question. Tell me everything you can, everything that will be useful to SEOs about the Perplexity architecture.
Yes, I tested in many different domains and topics, post titles, different industries, these Perplexity findings. I can say, unfortunately, there is no AGI yet in the market at the moment. Even for ChatGPT, they are using many manual calibration settings, directions for LLMs, which I can understand it. That's okay. For the Perplexity, I don't know the exact configuration of Google. Probably they're doing this same with using real-time AI. I can understand it. But for LLMs part, even for Gemini, I believe they're using many manual prompts, and they often update this. For Perplexity finding is also worse in the discover part. They're think like Google News. They're curating news with AI. And for the ranking patterns, I found it in my Chrome's network tab. They were fetching configuration file, and it was weakly encrypted. Then I realized that I can decode this in a very easy way. I just put my script and everything was done. So it contains weights, scorings, authority, system prompts, etc. And I reported it because it's also their paid product. They told me it's okay, but then they just change and remove most configurations. Got cut from those files.
It's
in their
good
next
you save the
update.
informations.
Yes, and for the Perplexity, they are obsessed with fact check for almost every prompt. They are using social media and YouTube heavily with using some system prompts like summarize it for me from YouTube.
Okay.
Use Reddit, and of course it's also a configuration file for their Comet browser, their newest product. So it's a mix of them, and they're using very high embedding similarity match for the prompt and your main body content title. And YouTube, I mentioned YouTube, but I see it first time as a system prompt, except Reddit for other LLMs. So YouTube is also crucial. And if you publish close match or exact match, if you use on your YouTube title, it works well, probably. And I believe they are using Google for the results. I don't have exact finding, but my experiments show that. So publish your content with high embedding similarity. Try to get close to 1.0, let's say, for the top. And distribute your content, your own channels like Reddit, YouTube. I didn't see Medium a lot, but it can help. So Perplexity has created some trusted lists for the some authority website, like let's say TripAdvisor, Slack, GitHub.
Some kind of manual, right? Like
yes,
they have written
manual.
This is an operative website, so to say.
Yes, and then they re-rank just like OpenAI.
And you know, it's always about the relevance. Again, it's
Relevance.
like giving the most relevant answer. The little thing that changes is maybe the YouTube one, but in a sense, YouTube is a very trustable platform. You know, people use it for getting information that they trust, so it's really interesting. And I'm happy you say that, because you know, with my SaaS query.co, which is a geo tool, we exported all the queries that were added by our clients, all the analysis, and we looked at the sources that were the most used by every LLM. And I was surprised because Perplexity number one source is YouTube.
Ooh.
You know, so it's still a lot of queries. I think it was 50,000 queries. We had about 200,000 sources by LLM. So it's starting to be statistically relevant, and YouTube was like the most used source, you know. So
I knew it. Yes, yes. That's what configuration file also mentions.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this feedback a lot, especially for the Perplexity side. And I believe YouTube is the most underrated platform at the moment. Even I believe in the upcoming months, even Gemini will use it heavily. And you know, YouTube is the part of Google, so I believe OpenAI isn't used too much for the YouTube, but it's obvious Google can understand what any video can tell about and what's the let's say embedding similarity for a query, and Google can show any YouTube video or any YouTube video parts, specific parts, anytime. Already a tested approach. So I believe YouTube is very underrated at the moment.
Yeah.
I believe. So invest on your video channels.
Yep. Good point. I think it's also because there's a barrier, you know, for YouTube. It's harder to create a YouTube video than to create a blog article, for example. Or
yes.
I'm not even talking about a LinkedIn post. That is even shorter to do, basically.
Yeah, just write and publish it. I'm still struggling. I really wanted to publish all my blog postings as a video content.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little bit shy to do that, but I will start.
It takes time, but once you started, it's really a great platform. I've used it a lot, so yeah. And something people underestimate with YouTube also is that people start to know you with YouTube. You know, I've seen it in my case. I created a lot of confidence. People trust me, a lot of trust. It's not confidence, it's trust with people. Because they see me in my French YouTube video, in my French podcast, SEO podcast, they see me every week, so once they contact me, they already know me. They're like, Luca, I'm happy to talk to you. I've seen tens of your videos. So it's easier to, after that, once the trust is there, it's easier to sign a contract because trust is already there,
Yes.
And for
it's
brands,
also valid for LLMs and search engines.
True. Yep. True.
Just like in real world. For the tactics that I can share with our lovely audience, be trusted, be cited, be memorable. So not just running your only one single domain isn't enough to get more citations, to get more trust. So be more visible in other platforms. I know it's very hard and it's not maybe possible in a short term, but try to make people talk about you.
Yeah.
So it's works and grows your brand and revenue in a very organic way, and probably you will be happier.
Totally. Affiliate marketing is a good possibility for that, because other people talk about you. I think it has become easier to do an affiliate marketing program today than it was 10 years ago, because you can track it easily with a promo code or whatever. I think this is a good opportunity also. We didn't talk about this one. We talked about a lot of other, but it's also a good one. Yeah.
Yes, I'm still working on the affiliate side, by the way, because the citations already comes with an UTM code, etc. But if you, I'm pretty sure there are some many ways to apply your tactics for your affiliate website. But I can say if you really find a way to get more traffic for your affiliate site from LLMs, probably you will make millions because the user intent is very clear. They know what they search for. Let's say for the sneakers example, they are looking for their age, the current trends, with your look, maybe a social media trend. Users just enter these all and ask the best match product.
Totally.
That's highly clear intent, and probably you will sell your product with a 90% of success.
Yeah.
So affiliate, I hope we will be the first people who solve this complex scenario.
Yeah, I hope to.
Yes. And then we can make this in Strasbourg with our Lambos,
Definitely. I have a couple of questions left. I have one question is about the YouTube strategy. Then I have an overall industry prediction. Then we will do the lightning one, the little questions, 30-second question where you just answer like this.
Okay.
First question, YouTube. You said what works very well is doing the same title between YouTube and a prompt in Perplexity, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit, like let's say a brand, sneakers brand, has to do that? How would you proceed?
Probably I will fetch the people also ask data questions at the first side, and I create my own synthesized prompts, blending with traditional keyword research, let's say. I will make my user intent. Then I start recording videos that answers those questions and just publish them in YouTube. And I'm pretty sure all LLMs will cite more my video if there are no competitors, because we know there are still millions of content gaps in internet right now for every topic.
Totally.
And some of them, yes, are competitive. Like if you just ask how to rank on Perplexity, there are many great videos on YouTube over there, and you can see in SERPs those videos as well. So, but if you focus on low competition keywords, questions, prompts, and if you answer those questions in a very structured and crystal clear way, probably you win this race for the YouTube part.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. And even on ranking, potentially, like going for these
Yes.
long terms. And as you said, the people also ask, indeed, at the moment is probably the nearest data that we have that looks like a prompt, You also
Yeah.
have Google Search Console where you can look for long tail and everything. But I think at the moment it's the nearest that we have that looks like prompt, because we don't have a ChatGPT Search Console at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I can highly recommend everyone who is listening or watching this our recording podcast video, just type what are the best sneakers in 25 to ChatGPT and check the citations. You will see the freshness pattern in there.
Yeah. When you look at the article, it's all 2025, and even I was looking for a client that is using a query. It's a legal tech, And articles, it was all July 25 or August 25.
Yes,
Everything that was
and
quoted.
Imagine that you publish this on your Reddit subreddit and just YouTube. It will work like a beast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally. Great. Let's talk about some prediction for the future of search. Magic, the magic bubble. For you, in 12 months, what will change in SEO? What will it look like in 12 months? Let's say 20th of August 2026, we do this podcast again. What are your predictions?
Yes, you can use this recording starting from now at the beginning, maybe in a black and white format, because I will say SEO is that. SEO will be that in 24. Just joking. I believe all SEOs will earn more. My first prediction. I just want to make everyone happy, but I believe this will become a new reality in internet history. SEOs already earn more on the financial side just before coders. I believe during the pandemic, all things changed, but right now everyone is chasing AI traffic. So there is an opportunity to develop your own skills, to learn more and show your experiments more to all industry. And I'm very appreciated, like Luca is doing right now, sharing all knowledge, which is great. I believe we will read more, we can read more and see more experiments. And the second is probably content ops for assistance. I believe feeding assistance task-based answers will rise, of course. The third one, agentic web, probably. And it will be very important for SEO and for the search industry, because we never see any Google ads or other, let's say, ChatGPT ads at the moment. The things will become more complex, and user intent is very clear for the prompts. So we will see these implementations in the next 24 months. And data contracts, I believe we need to create more data. We need to create our own media channels like Reddit. So this will become like a data contract, I believe. It also contains your brand fingerprint, your personal name, etc. And knowledge graph will become more important, I believe, because if it's everything about topic clusters, embedding stuff, entities, and freshness, so knowledge graph becomes very important, and it's easy to understand if you create your own knowledge graph. It's hard, by the way, but it's easy to understand how you position your website in your online presence at the moment. I can tell. Money,
excellent
content ops, yes, data contracts and knowledge graph.
We talk back 26 August 26.
yes.
No, but
with our Lambos.
Good point. And knowledge graph, something we didn't talk about is during this podcast is Wikipedia. Also Wikipedia with data. A lot of opportunities in there.
Trusted platform, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Reddit, you said a lot, but Wikipedia also is a part of this. It's not only being present on your domain, your URL, but being present everywhere, definitely.
Yes, I tried to add some pages on Wikipedia, and their rules and restrictions are very hard to add or edit even at tiny small part. I can understand it's very trustable platform, and Wikipedia is important. If you can create Wikipedia pages, just do it. You can dominate any topic, topic cluster in LLMs.
Yeah, and on this, there was a good experiment once. It was someone that wrote a book, but like Amazon book that he wrote, and after that he was able to become an entity and all this. So that's stuff that are interesting. It's easier to create a book today than it was 20 years ago, when you needed the editor and everything. But this can really help you become an entity and become more present.
And it's just for $29.99.
Yeah, indeed. Great. Thank you for this. Let's conclude with the lightning round, principle of the lightning round. You're the first one to test that, so thank you for that.
Okay.
Principle is 5 questions. I ask you the question. You have about 30 seconds to answer. Eventually, if I see something more to ask you, I will, but it should be quite fast.
Okay.
First question is the most underrated GEO, generative engine optimization, lever in your opinion?
Creating topic clusters.
I thought you were going to go for freshness.
Yeah, freshness. Yes, also freshness. Yeah. Just excited.
Indeed.
Freshness. Yes. Freshness.
I think maybe freshness is easier to do because you update the content that you already have. Topic cluster is harder, but long term probably much have a higher impact.
Yes.
Now it's the other way around. One overhyped GEO tactic you would skip.
Schema. 100%.
Yeah. For you at the moment?
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't really help being more featured or whatever.
Maybe for the e-commerce, but for the SaaS, blogs, enterprise, I didn't see clear patterns. Clear results for that.
Tool you open first each morning.
Cloudflare logs.
Oh, really? To look at the logs?
Yes, logs. Logs and Google Search Console.
Yeah.
Plus Google Search Console.
Yeah, Google Search Console is you cannot do a day without looking at the search.
Yes, it's each morning. Then in the day time, I consistently check Google Search Console on.
Yeah. And logs, we didn't talk about it because I talked a lot about it with Jérôme Salomon in the first episode of the podcast, and we had so much to say with everything.
Jérôme is a great person, and I don't know if he showed his dashboard to you. Sometimes he shares screenshots. It's just mind blowing.
Totally. But looking at the logs is, I think, underrated GEO lever also. A lot of SEOs are not doing it. Lots are afraid also because at first logs doesn't look easy to understand, but once you have done it a couple of times, you get really some great information.
I will only have one question here to our listeners or subscribers. Do you know which pages are popular in LLMs for your website and which pages are popular in human?
Yeah.
How can you identify these pages? Just looking into logs.
Yeah.
Crawler log.
And while we don't have ChatGPT Search Console, if one day we will have this, I'm not even sure. Logs is the only way to have data that
right now.
Yeah, totally. If you had to kill one SEO KPI forever,
right now I will say average position.
Particularly on URL. Average position on URL means nothing.
Yes.
Plus average position, I see it on some, Google Ads has exploded over the last years with now sometimes 4 Google Ads. So sometimes you see average position on a keyword first, great. You have 1 click over 1,000 impression, So.
Yes.
Yeah. And finally, one experiment every listener should run this week.
Great. Use Freshness and match a YouTube title and post a trending query.
Yeah, very good.
And see and just ask it in LLMs, ChatGPT, Perplexity, all others, and see if you cite it or not.
Yeah. Tell us in the comment if you test, so that Metehan and we can look at your test, and that's about the SEO community. We are all testing, sharing as much information as possible, and thank you for that, Metehan. It was a pleasure on my side to have you here. How can people contact you if they want to talk to you, to work with you, or whatever?
On X, on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
More
I
than
can
welcome.
confirm. You
I love-
answer
I love-
fast.
I love French SEO community, by the way. I love
thank you.
France. And merci. And I know ici c'est Paris.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Metehan. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And talk soon. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah. Ciao.